Hello there, my name is Ovidiu Mihaiuc and you are watching Vocile 2.0. Today we're talking with Paul Lombardo, who is CEO at Ness Digital Engineering. Welcome to Iași.
Thank you, it's good to be here again.
Over his 30 years career, Paul Lombardo was lived in North America, Europe and Asia, working for companies like Anderson Consulting, Logica or EDS and Phases. In 2009 he joined Ness Digital Engineering to head up the software engineer services firm's European business. He took over the CEO in 2014. Well, Mr. Lombardo, any specific reason for you in Iași this week?
Well, you know, I like to get out to see our centers at least a couple of times a year in each center, if not more. And but I'm here especially this week to spend some time with a client who was interested in doing more business with us. And I stayed a couple of extra days because it's important to me to hear from the staff how things are going and to, you know, understand on the ground people's challenges and opportunities.
These are fruitful meetings in
Yeah,
terms of business?
yeah. So the discussion with our client was very fruitful indeed. I think this is a situation where we're looking to expand the nature of our relationship to make it much more strategic. And I think we spent a couple of great days with them. I'm very confident that that's going to grow both here in Iași and elsewhere. And of course, it's great spending time with the management and staff here in Iași and really, you know, getting a better understanding of how their day-to-day lives are going, day-to-day challenges. It's been great.
Do you have any particular plans for Ness here in Iași in the next couple of years?
Well, you know, we started here in Iași in 2012. I was very directly involved in that. And we've had a great time growing the business. I remember when we came here, we took one floor in this building and I told our landlord we'd need the whole building. And of course now we're filling the whole building, so I'm proud of that. But we will continue to grow. So we're about 350 people here today. We're continuing to bring new customers here. And we're continuing to grow our relationships with those customers. So I think we'll continue to do that. We still need to hire talented engineers. We need to bring innovation to our customers. And I'm expecting by the end of next year we'll be 500 people here in Iași.
So the key word is grow.
Grow, innovate, and continue to add value for our customers.
Okay. And about the company, how do you project for yourself the company in the next 5 years, 10 years, maybe?
No, so I think we'll continue to grow across the globe. You know, we work mostly with customers in the U.S. and Western Europe and Israel, and I think we'll continue to grow both the size of the relationships with many of our customers as well as additional customers. We are acquiring companies that we think have complementary capabilities. So for example, we're looking at delivery capabilities in Latin America because some of our US customers are interested in that. We'll continue to drive newer technologies to help our customers differentiate themselves. Almost all of the work we do for our customers is customer facing for them. It's their way of generating revenue, whether that's a software product or a platform that generates revenue through digital products and services. So I think we'll, you know, continue to help them innovate. And so I guess over the next 5-10 years, we'll continue to grow. We'll become even more global. We'll continue to embrace, adopt, and leverage new technologies, advancements for our customers' benefit. And of course, all the people working for us will, you know, build their careers. We'll continue to bring on new people and, you know, just become a bigger, better, even more innovative company.
Mr. Lombardo, I prepared a few questions, maybe tricky questions, but nice questions. We try to find out the human side of Paul Lombardo.
Sure.
The first one is this. Suppose you are in the front of a crowd from 18th century and you have to explain them what you are doing today in these days. How would you do it?
I guess I would tell them that we use technology to make people's lives easier. Right? Back then, I guess that would be about transportation, maybe sharing information, maybe communicating with each other. And today, I think it's much the same. It's how do you get from place to place? How do you consume information in the form of media? How do you communicate more effectively, right? So I guess we've advanced a lot since the 18th century, but some of the challenges, I guess, are still the same. Just on a global scale, maybe.
What keeps Paul Lombardo awake at nights?
So, honestly, I sleep very well, so I don't stay awake. But I think, when we have challenges and we have problems, and this is true at home with my family, it's true at work as well. I tend to focus on solving the things I can solve, right?
In terms of businesses, the question is.
Yeah, that's fine. And so I think I solve the problems I can solve, and I try not to worry about the things we can't solve. A lot of that has to do with, do we have the right people in the right roles? Do they have the support they need and the direction they need? Do they have the resources they have to make themselves successful? And, I think about that kind of stuff a lot. Are we keeping our customers competitive? Are we solving their problems? Are they happy? And, I think if we can do those things right, then we can't help but be successful.
Speaking about that, the next question is this. What are your core values in terms of business and leadership?
So I think first and foremost, I think it's very important to listen to your customers and listen to your staff, right? Because for me, at least, that's where I get the most useful direct information about how we're performing as a company and how we can do better.
Talking with customers, being with them.
Yep. So I spend a lot of time traveling, and I do that because I think it's important to keep my finger on the pulse of how we're doing with our customers, what their needs are, what their strategies are, and how we can help them achieve that. Same thing with our people. It's, for example, I had a focus group earlier today, really hearing from our staff what their challenges are, what they like, what they don't like, and it's incredibly useful. So I think listening to customers and people is really important, and our partners. I think doing what you say you're going to do, right? So we make commitments to our customers contractually, but you know what? It's more important to me almost to, when we agree something with a customer with a handshake, right, to follow through and do what we say we're going to do. So I think that's a very important value. And then I think finally just being genuine, right? Just being who you say you're going to be, and I think that makes a big difference in relationships.
What would you say are your successful habits, and would you share it with everybody?
So I think to start with, it's picking good people to work with you, and then providing them the support they need to be successful and the direction they need to be aligned. So I think that's one thing that is important. I think having a sense of routine, right? Really, being disciplined in making sure that the things you have to do regularly, you do regularly, and I think that then becomes just a habit that means you don't let a lot of stuff that needs to get done fall off the table.
What do you usually read? What kind of books are on your desk?
So, obviously I do a lot of research and, online research and reading about our industry and our business and our customers, and I think that consumes a lot. I think in terms of reading books, although I will read the occasional kind of business book, I tend to, for big, thicker reads, I like to read novels occasionally, especially 20th century kind of novels. And sometimes those come with great insights in how to do business. I read a book not too long ago called The Boys in the Boat, about the success of the University of Washington rowing team in the 1936 Olympics in Germany. And there's a lot of, it was on the New York Times bestseller list, a lot of useful lessons for life and business in that book, even though it was a historical story.
How do you find your strength in the moments of doubt?
I think, similar to the discussion about staying awake, I think I focus on what I can solve, right? And I don't worry about things I can't control. And, I figure that if we can focus on what we can control and do the best we can there, then we will get through, as best as we can. And after all, most failures, even if they're painful, they're not fatal usually. So
very pragmatic.
yeah, you gotta keep going, right?
When you was amazed last time, and why?
I'm constantly amazed by what young people, and my own children included, can understand and can do. I mean, it's fun to watch your kids and other young people in your business, do things that, better than you can expect them to do, better than you could do it yourself. And I think that constantly amazes me, right? What young people are capable of, especially when they haven't yet learned the limits of what they can and can't do.
Let's talk a bit about the future and about how the disruptive technologies will change the world. And I would ask you, what are the main changes that will be brought by these disruptive technologies, digitalized and so on?
So I think first of all, I think I think it's not going to be, one moment that changes everything. I think it's going to be things that build on each other. And we have been on a trajectory where a lot of the foundations have been laid. But I think completely personalized and connected services, and from everything from banking to media to travel and transportation, I think those things will become increasingly seamless, so that we don't have as many disjointed experiences. If you think about it now, if you travel from one city to another city somewhere else in the world, your car and your plane and your hotel and your meals are all kind of disparate experiences. I think we will see a convergence, and where we see much more personalized and integrated experiences in all the things that we do. I think communication will get increasingly improved. I think things like virtual reality will kind of merge with communication technology, and I think we could be sitting 10,000 miles apart having the same conversation, almost as if we were sitting here next to each other. And I think we're going to see things like that really change the way we interact with each other and the way we experience some of the common things we do in life.
Mr. Lombardo, what would you say is your preferred business story?
I think there's a lot of stories in business about somebody having a great idea and then all of a sudden they're hugely successful. I know from living business that the most inspiring business stories are not the great idea, but the building of a business brick by brick by brick. It's similar to here,
Step
right?
by step, yeah.
Yeah, step by step, similar to here. We started this center in 2012 with a small 20-person client engagement, and not really sure how far we could take it, but with the belief that we could take it far. And now we're well over 300 people, and there's no limit to the amount that we can grow. And I think getting from that point to the point we're at now, there's 100, 1,000 challenges and stories and people working hard to build that business. And so for me, it's the story of how people work hard to build great businesses, and it's the journey, that we can be proud of. Those are the stories I like. It's really understanding all that.
I have the last two questions. There are if questions. The first one, imagine that you are the mayor of a city and you have to implement some public policies in order to digitalize the city and so on. What would you do in order to get in front of other cities?
So I think transportation systems are important. We work with a number of technology vendors and providers in that space. So I think really planning for the future of transportation, I think, is really important. I've seen lots of cities where that hasn't been done, hasn't been planned for, and they're suffering for it. So I think that's a key thing, getting people sort of effortlessly, seamlessly around the city is important. I think the ability to really personalize people's experience, right, to give the infrastructure needed, kiosks or screens, video, that kind of stuff that'll help businesses really connect with their potential customers. I think that kind of stuff. So I think telecommunications infrastructure and the ability to support businesses in how they connect with their customers is also important.
Benefits for people.
Yeah, and I mean education, of course, is another related area. But yeah, I think. And
health, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthcare. The last question is, if you would have $2 billion, where would you invested this kind of money? I would invest it in new emerging forms of transportation. I would invest it in like electric cars.
Electric cars electric cars is one area, but I think self-driving, autonomous driving, I think is an area, and new business models around automotive. I think that's one area. I would invest it in new modes of communication and personalization, automation, AI around AI combined with automation. I think those are areas where machine learning, but probably more insightful AI algorithms as well. I think those are things that are again going to help realize some of the advancements that I've been talking about.
Mr. Lombardo, thank you. When you will be back in Iași?
Probably in the autumn, September, October, I guess.
Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for watching Vocile 2.0. Ne vedem data viitoare.